Trust has been the foundation of human civilization for thousands of years. But what if I told you that the future belongs to systems that don't require trust at all? The rise of cryptographic truth is about to change everything we thought we knew about trust. And most people in blockchain aren't even talking about it. In the next 10 minutes, I'll show you why this silent revolution matters more than any token or blockchain protocol out there. In traditional finance, trust is placed in institutions, banks, governments, and regulatory bodies. In blockchain, the paradigm is entirely different. We often hear terms like trustless and zero trust, but what do they really mean? What kind of future are we building when we move away from human-based trust to mathematically verified systems? To understand this shift, let's go back to the origin of the word trust. It comes from the Old Norse word trust, meaning both confidence and shelter. This perfectly encapsulates what blockchain aims to achieve: systems that offer security and reliability without blind faith in centralized entities. Now think about this. Gallup polls show a steady 45-year decline in institutional trust across the United States, reflecting a broader global trend. The financial crash of 2008, corruption scandals like Wirecard's disappearance of 1.9 billion euros or pounds, and opaque government decisions all highlight why trust in traditional systems has eroded. This erosion of confidence has created the perfect storm for blockchain adoption, as people actively seek alternatives to establish financial and social structures. And the real problem is not only politics, it runs much deeper, right into the architecture of the internet itself. Think about how today's internet actually works. Every app you use, every platform you engage with is essentially a digital kingdom. At the top sits a small group of people who own everything: the code, the servers, your data, and most importantly, the power to make all the decisions. Now, decentralization creates three major problems. First, there's the censorship issue. Sure, platforms need to moderate content. I guess nobody's arguing against removing illegal material, but what we're seeing goes beyond that. Platforms can silence voices based on vague policies and subjective interpretations. And let's be honest, these decisions often conveniently align with their financial interest or whatever political pressure they're facing at that moment. Second, consider the value distribution problem. Social media platforms are worth billions. But what creates the value? It's us, the users. We create the content, we build the communities, we drive engagement, yet somehow all the profits flow to a handful of executive and shareholders. Does that seem fair to you? And finally, there's a data problem. We are required to hand over our personal information to use these services, creating massive databases that are basically giant targets for hackers. Remember the Equifax breach? That's what happens when we centralize sensitive data. And not only are they storing it, they're also selling your data. That's why they say if you're not paying for the product, you probably are the product. It's about a fundamental breakdown in the relationships between platforms and users. Internet wasn't supposed to be a collection of digital feudal states, but that's exactly what we've built. This centralized architecture has created what we might call a trust deficit. Large corporations own intellectual property, control backend servers, and profit from user-generated data. In essence, they're digital gatekeepers. Decentralization has led to censorship concerns, unilateral decision-making, and data security vulnerabilities that we all know too well in this Web 2 era. This is where blockchain technology offers a compelling solution. Instead of requiring trust between counterparties or relying on third-party intermediaries, we're introducing systems with cryptographic guarantees. By combining minimally extractive coordination with trust-minimized execution, we're creating infrastructure that's fundamentally different from anything that came before. Smart contracts represent the logical evolution of this trust revolution. These self-executing programs remove human intermediation from complex processes, creating deterministic outcomes based on predefined conditions. When coupled with Oracle networks like those pioneered by Chainlink, these smart contracts can interact with real-world data while maintaining their trust-minimized properties. This synergy between blockchains and oracles is creating what we might call end-to-end trust networks. Blockchains provide tamper-proof backends for codifying and enforcing digital contracts, while oracles enable smart contracts to accurately verify real-world events and interact seamlessly with legacy systems. This shifts us from probabilistic, human-mediated processes to deterministic, consensus-verified ones. This infrastructure enables truly transformative applications. Consider decentralized finance, where lending, trading, and insurance operate without traditional intermediaries, or parametric insurance products that automatically execute based on Oracle verified weather data. This paradigm shift with the power of oracles represent a fundamental reimagining of how we coordinate economic activity. As we wrap up, let's return to the paradox we started with. How can a trustless technology be the key to restoring trust in our digital world? The answer lies in understanding what we're really building. We're not eliminating trust, we're transforming it. Think of it this way. Traditional trust is like a handshake. Personal, subjective, based on reputation and promises. What we're creating is more like gravity, a force that simply works, regardless of who you are or what you believe in. We're moving from trust based on human promises to trust anchored in mathematical certainty. By removing the needs of trust in basic transactions and agreements, we're actually freeing up human trust for where it really matters the most: innovation, creativity, and collaboration. We're not replacing human relationships, we're giving them room to flourish by handling the mechanical aspects of trust through code and consensus. This is the beautiful resolution to our paradox. By building trustless systems, we're creating the most trustworthy digital infrastructure humanity has ever seen, not because it depends on trust, but because it transformed trust from a social construct into a cryptographic certainty. And that's just not another blockchain innovation, that's a revolution worth building. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, comment. I reply to them all, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, bye bye.